Hi guys, welcome along to the UK Construction Week at the NEC in Birmingham. We've come along today with a special guest. It's Dal. He's a tool carpenter on YouTube. If you're not already subscribed to his channel, check him out. So yeah, we're going to pop inside, we're going to have a look around some of the stalls, see what's on offer and take you on a little tour. Let's go inside.
So guys, we're here and we're super excited. What we're going to do is John and Pete are going to split up. They're going to go one way and me and Dal from the Tool Carpenter, we are going to go another way. So follow us on this journey. Let's go guys.
Oh, I love ya!
A lot of our clients are turning around to us saying, Tone, don't want to hear the people upstairs in the bedroom. Yeah. So we say, right, we always use rock wool insulation in between. If a client said to me, Tone, I don't want to hear any noise upstairs because obviously I've got a timber floor instead of a block and beam in a residential sort of system, what would your system be?
If you needed to try and prevent noise transmitting up through the floor, you only had access to the floor above rather than the ceiling. Really, the only way to do that is to create independent joists. Almost so you're breaking the connection of the floor structure. You can't just keep adding layers to the floor and expect the situation to go away. The only way you would be able to do it by adding layers is by creating high mass barriers. So we have products that are sand filled panels or cement particles. So that add a lot of density to the floor, which creates barriers.
Potentially if someone was having some work done in a multi-storey building, like a flat or something, they obviously can't do anything from below, but they can do something from above. So
and they would be able to show an improvement. But if you had a client, for example, we get a client that say, we want to try and remove all sound transmitted through the floor and we can only treat it from above. It's virtually impossible to do that. Most of our systems all include an acoustic ceiling system or something with an acoustic floor above.
So this product here, is this a product that you sell here as well, is it?
So we've tested all densities of insulation. Now you mentioned rock wool.
Yeah, it's just something we use because it's just a great product.
We've got
that's good, isn't it?
Different versions of top layers. So that's cement particle board. That's a plywood sample and that's a cement particle. You feel the weight difference just in the two little samples.
Yeah, wow. So this would come in 8x2 or 8x2?
That's 4x2 because it's heavy. That's 8x2.
Is this tongue and grooved, is it? So, and if you don't mind me asking, how much would this be a sheet? £35 a sheet?
So the P5 version, about 25 quid a sheet. Sometimes prefer a plywood top.
And the fix, and these are all tongue and grooved.
Tongue and grooved, and the joints.
And the mechanical fixing of these?
No, floating system.
Just floating system completely. Just glue it all. D5 glue.
Yeah, and then, or D4 on the, or D3 with the chipboard.
With the chipboard.
Or D5.
Yeah.
And also, there's a perimeter strip. So when you're laying the floor, what you don't want to do is connect the two.
No, you need a void there,
So you create a little gap and put a perimeter strip to break the ice. So you're basically isolating the floor. So what's really interesting about skirting boards, one of the first projects I ever got involved with when I joined Bush in 2007 was a penthouse apartment in South Bank of London. And they'd laid this floor product and put an engineered timber floor over the top. And they could hear footsteps below. And the reason why they could hear footsteps below is because the engineered timber floor was connected to the wall. And the skirting board was sat directly on top of the engineered timber floor. So what they did as remedial works is they packed the skirting board 2 mil off the engineered floor, trimmed it back by 2 mil, and because the skirting board and the engineered floor were connected, it prevented the impact noise transmitting down. And that product was doing what it was supposed to do.
Well, it makes perfect sense. Do you know what, in a funny kind of way, it's not dissimilar to damp, is it?
Absolutely.
If you bridge it, you know, you're going to bridge that void and, you know, just like you get damp, you get sound transference, wouldn't you?
And a lot of sound issues, and I mean this in the best possible way, but a lot of sound issues does come down to workmanship and installation as well.
So definitely 100%.
You can have the best system in the world if it's not applied properly.
So it just needs to be installed correctly.
Excellent. Great to meet you, Rob. Tony.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks for that. Awesome. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Have a great show, man.
So what, you just heat it up and it becomes flexible, and then when it cools down it goes solid, turns solid.
Can you machine it yourself, can you?
Yes, you can do all this kind of machine.
Oh, lovely. I really like that because I mean we do a lot of 1950 his houses, and a lot of them sort of have like a curved detail on them.
Very good for the spiral
Staircase,
Yeah,
a handrail. You could do a handrail out of it.
Handrail is not very good. No, not really. Yeah.
No, but I prefer skirting board, architrave, crown mouldings, that sort of thing.
Perfect.
What thicknesses do you go up to?
That's all that kind of thicknesses. Yeah.
30 mil.
Well, it goes up to a 22 as well, so I mean that's not where you got your 18 and 22 for your skirting board,
Yeah.
ain't you? So that's good.
25 mil is very popular, special for making the paneling and dado,
Yeah.
So on the stairs and skirtings,
Yeah. No.
Can it be used in exterior applications?
Not really because it's the sun. Yeah, the sun.
Obviously, the heat will
right,
make
the
it
heat will
move.
start.
Yeah.
It's not
But still, internally, I mean, that's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? That's ideal for curvature work, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that's good, though, isn't it? Look, and only been splitting them.
start because it's become colder, yeah?
Yeah, I see it. Just it's thermostatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite quick setting, about 10-15 minutes.
Thing is, though, you put that against what you'd have to pay somebody to machine it all down, laminate it, make the former, glue it.
No, probably you did like that in the past.
Yeah.
I've seen stuff like that. I mean, yeah,
This is after one cut of the same knife.
yeah. That's
You don't
brilliant,
need
that
to
is,
use the
isn't
sanding
it?
paper or anything.
Just
yeah?
heat it, bend it, and that's it.
I mean, the money you'd save not having to pay for decorator to make that good would be worth it, wouldn't it?
And switch off the light when the client comes.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
So you've always wanted to just bend that bit of wood that little bit to
that's
get around
it.
something, and now you can just go, whoop. I really like that.
Yeah, that'd be a great time saver, that would.
Yeah.
I'll do jobs, and I don't know if there's a debate, but I'm a very much certainly when it comes to joist hangers, I'm a joist hanger after guy, not a joist hanger first guy. You know, I think they always say, you know, if you were marking out a trimmer for some stairs, mark it out, put your joist hangers on, drop your timbers in. So you do have, it's easier doing it like that in terms of physically dropping it in. But what I like to do is I physically connect the joist to the trimmer first.
That's what I
do. Then what I would call it, you wrap that round it. So you've got the placement of the timbers absolutely spot on, because with the best will in the world, you know, you're trying to line, I mean, I know there's a little tab there, but you're trying to line that up with the bottom of the trimmer.
You're the same as me.
Hopefully, but
we're old school. Like
I think you're right. Whereas once that's in, you just put that side up, clack, and then wrap that up. And sometimes what I also do is hold that off the trimmer slightly, and I'll angle my nail slightly up so it really pulls it up.
So this is why Pasley, when they invented the positive nailer, that's why we jumped to it straight away, because it was such a game changer for us. But ever since I've been in the industry, the Simpsons have been there, we've been using a lot. And the great thing about it, they don't just they just do so many different types of
They've got some metalwork for everything, haven't they?
Yeah, just literally gang plates here, plates here. I mean, it's a whole.
Look at that.
Look at that. Now, that's something we do. We use these a lot.
I've started using more and more of them.
We use these a lot,
because they've got this wafer head, so it doesn't. It really clamps the timbers together rather than sort of start pulling in. Is that like a sort of standoff bracket or something? Is it?
Down strap,
Right.
for timber frame construction.
Yeah.
So up against the stud work, bolted down to the concrete.
Right. Okay.
It's just a hold down strap.
Yeah. Okay. I know.
There's a lot of light gauge steel product here as well.
Yeah.
I think timber connectors are our main thing.
Yeah.
Joist hangers and all the rest of it. But in recent years we've got uses like that. Light gauge steel products.
Right.
Various angle brackets.
So that's what a lot of this is. I was going to ask what these are because I've never sort of come across these.
Is that because a lot of the industry now is moving towards SIPS houses and all that sort of stuff? Because the government's really pushing that now, isn't it? You know, going that way, of trying to go modular and going through the metal sort of systems, aren't they?
Absolutely. You know, we do a lot of product for SIPS panels. Brackets, hanger work for SIPS. The screws are involved in that as well. So that's a big market for us. The sort of off-site market as well. You know, the off-site modular construction. We've got a range of screws and fastenings that are the off-site market.
Excellent.
And Simpsons, there's a multinational international company, isn't it?
It's American originally.
Yeah.
It's in California. Yeah.
Because I watch, obviously, YouTube being this wonderful resource for us all now. We sort of look across the pond to our American cousins and watch how they do a lot of things. And obviously, they call it stick building, don't they? A lot of timber frame out there, and that's quite interesting because it's all about how it's bonded down to the slab. But they have these things called, do they call them the hurricane ties or hurricane screws, where they put this. I always never quite understood how they put a truss roof on a double top plate, but the bottom one of those plates is just nailed down into the stud, and you can fix this truss all you like to the top plate, but it's only being held on by those nails. But now they've got these screws that I think go on an angle, don't they? And they go up through the stud. Very clever. Because unfortunately, what happens in certain parts of the States, they get a good gust of wind and the whole house just gets boxed, doesn't it? The amount of times that they've got you out of jail. When you've done something and the building control officer's come around, he's not quite happy, or he said, "Can you go back to the structural engineer?" The structural engineer goes, and he just sends you a link. There it is. This is what you need. But I did one a few years ago, and there was a massive triple girder truss on this bungalow that turned, and we took the wall out that it was on, and we had to put it on a piece of steel. And I spoke to the structural engineer, and he came back with this Simpson hanger. I think it was about 300 quid. No, he didn't. The customer said, "I'm not paying that." So fortunately, our steel guy, he fabricated this monstrosity up. Probably cost 300 quid.
Probably cost 300 quid. No, it's great. Have a great show, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Great show.
What you got here then?
Do you use?
I can't remember the make of the one we use. It's quite an old machine now, but it's sort of seen better days. The one we've got, it's good. It saves a lot of time, but traditionally we usually just buy the pre-made ties with the pull twist.
Yes.
And just see what's this like.
Hold it. Tell me what you think.
It's nice and light, isn't it?
2.5 kilos fully loaded.
That's not bad at all, is it?
No.
So this go diagonal, is it?
Yeah. Done.
Oh wow.
That's a damn sight better than the one we've got. Main thing we've had issues with is after it's tightened, it can come a little bit loose, and you've had to go along with a pair of pliers just to make it good. So
and it does. So this is the 7th generation.
Yeah.
This tool, and the reason it's 7th generation is it's Max specialise in these.
Okay, so it's
So
all
if you've
they
got
do.
you've got So when you're dealing with rebar tying tools,
Yeah.
they're at the forefront.
Yeah.
There's a 15-year patent in this. No one can copy it.
Oh, lovely stuff.
So see the old tool, our old tool, Makita copied it. So Makita's tool, if you've seen a Makita tying tool, it's the equivalent of our old tool, the 390. And it's loose.
All right.
And it's clunky. See this? It's jammed.
Yeah.
To release that jam, off, on.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty easy, isn't it?
We've had that issue with our machine a couple of times, and we've ended up having to just get pliers to rip it. No, that's really good. Instead of wasting time with a recip saw and angle grinder, check this out. Beautiful tool. It's a nice clean cut as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, so there's hardly a bore on it either.
Yep.
No, it's great. So it cuts it and then you can go straight to handling it, can't you? Rather than having to polish it off. With an angle grinder.
Exactly.
No, I like that.
This is the equivalent of your 90mm nailer. If you was using a standard 8-bar tool, standard factory tool, that's the weight of that, fully loaded.
And what's
150 nails in that.
So what do you get usually in a strip of Plaslos?
30, I think.
So that's five magazines worth in one.
In one.
It's not
so that's a standard tool. But then you go to that, which is half the weight of that one. And it's exactly the same tool. What it actually does.
So what's the difference, Roy?
Low pressure, high volume of air.
Yeah.
High pressure, low volume of air. It means you can shrink all your tools down. Make them lighter. Use joist hangers. You will love it.
It's got some power behind it, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's a bit easier on the ears as well with a spit gun, isn't it?
Yeah. This is a great example where you buy panels like this. But we use this a lot when we're making cabinets instead of MDF. Do you use much of this at all?
No, my work's sort of more tailored to sort of the site. I mean, I make some fantastic stuff on site, but it's always a bit, you know, depending on what materials are there. And occasionally I get to work with some really exotic materials, which is fabulous. But
in fact, look, there's the panel there. So, like, kind of sometimes some of this 28mm panel here, we do a lot of window stuff, which is 27mm, because it's the size, but the groove in it here. Because you know, it's like trying to get up to 27mm window now. It's all set sizes, you know. And for us, this is like a huge game changer because we just buy panels like which are 6 meters or 3 meters, whatever long, whatever they produce.
So it's just like buying board materials, but it's
exactly that, and then this way. But I mean, you know, you look at that. Look at the end of that now. Look. So you get there now. They got laminations of like 4-inch here, haven't they?
Did it take your back tone? Joinery.
That's great like this.
Well, you got it wrong and you board like that.
Yeah, that's it.
And the old boy slapped me around the head and said, do that again.
Do that again. But you know, buying behind a buy board like this, for me, it's great because we all struggle getting decent sized window boards and decent handling. I think there's only one merchant that stocks this sort of stuff. It's not actually this make actually, so I'd be quite interested to take a card and see that we could do a bit of business with them.
Plasterboard fixings in acrylic, so they're never going to come out. So one of the main issues with plasterboard is obviously fixing into it. It's a bit of a bane of everybody's life, trying to find the right fixing for the right product. There's a few out there. What are the circular ones called?
Like the corkscrew ones you're on about?
No, they're like a circular plate that you push in and then the little wings come out.
Yeah, I know the ones you mean, I don't know what they're called though.
They're really good, but they can be like quite big, can't they? So sometimes you can see that if you're trying to do fix a small thing, again you've got the big area behind it. So if you're trying to fix something intricate like a toilet roll holder or something like that, it never works, does it? Because you can always see it.
The thing is now we've been introduced to a veto board.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's the thing. You don't need fixings of that.
I hate to say it as well. Stuff like that usually is a bit of a premium price, isn't it? So when you offset it against sort of like putting a bit of a veto board,
which is like an extra £5 a sheet, it makes sense just to be done with them all together.
I'm not saying it ain't good. I mean, it's probably got its application, you know, for kitchen wall units, stuff like that. But
oh yeah. Well, when they're hidden fixings, you can't see them anyway.
That's it. But I think for the right place, I reckon.
Have you ever used one of these, Dale?
No, and I think
honestly,
that's fascinating.
Honestly, mate, right? Can I have a go? Does it work? So I'm going to put my glasses on for this. Number of wraps is 1 to 4, is it? Or 1 to 6?
No, so you only got 2 or 3.
2 or 3, okay,
It either wraps away or wrong way, so it wraps around 3 times.
Yeah, okay.
2 or 3 is.
And the tension is to spin it and
how tight
it pulls it. So between 1 and 10. The misconception with these tools is to have it at 10.
Yes.
Because what then happens is
it's too tight.
Tension in a way, so you're not getting a proper fold and a proper tight.
Yeah.
So the ideal is a 6.
Why would you have different tension settings if really 6 is the best one?
It depends on how thick the bars are, and the different thicknesses of bar as well.
Right.
So if you're tying a box in the ground, you'll have starter bars coming out at 20mm, and they might be putting 15s around it. So you have to adjust the tension to keep them tight.
Okay.
And you might just put a loose tag on, just to hold it up.
Like a tack.
And then you'll go along and tie it properly.
Can I have a go? Is that alright, guys?
Yeah, of course,
Look how quick that was.
Just fascinating.
Can you imagine
it's just fascinating.
doing that by hand? That's just so cool, that is.
When you talk about the tension and the wraps, is there specifications that you have to adhere to in terms of...
It depends. Some engineers will give you a specification.
Yeah, they will,
Right? So it's about working with us and working with the engineers.
Right.
We join partnerships with people like the guys next door, like at Engineering Edge. So they do a lot of fixings, and they're bought in from abroad, but they actually specify the fixings.
Right.
So we'll give them plans of a modular build, for instance, and they'll specify the fixings for us. They give us the program for it. I was actually a shuttering carpenter for 5 years.
Right.
And before that, I was a house bashing carpenter. So I've worked with...
Hey, welcome to the game.
We're both carpenters. But I've not done any shuttering.
One thing I like about this, because the first thing I look, as soon as I pick up anything cordless, I think, right, how does the battery come on and off, That comes out. You know, some of the battery mechanisms, you think, oh, that's so pants. It's just like, so that works really, really well.
They charge in 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Fill that in your
Oh, this is a game changer, isn't it? Just this.
That stick is not just a stick, it's also an activator. Pull the trigger.
Oh my god. That's just crazy, mate. You ever go with that?
Yeah. And I think the other thing is, yes, you've got this weight, but what it'll help you do is get that positive location.
I don't know what it is, you know, the Paso for me is up here, you know?
It's the weight for me.
It's, yeah.
You can literally throw it around all day. Is this a gas gun?
3043, 90 mil gas nailer.
Yeah.
The best thing about it, compared to a Pasload, right, and I've had these tested, there's 2 Pasloads, 2 of these, and a DeWalt, right? And within 15 minutes, the Pasloads and the DeWalt were on the floor resting because they were too hot. And these 2 didn't stop. Now,
well, see, there's a challenge there, you see, darling. I can see all the people shouting and screaming, no way, mate, you're talking rubbish.
I've never seen these before, apart from here. Where would you go to get something like this? Come on, Tone, live fire.
He's a bit slow.
Have a go, Dal.
Again, the reason I like the Paslows is I know the battery ones, they're very consistent.
This is a lot bulkier.
But it's the weight. I know that sounds a bit wet,
No.
but you know, when you get to a certain
like
age, Tony, you've been doing it for a few years.
It's like a hammer.
Yeah, let's have a go with that.
Go on, you have a go with that, mate.
Yeah. This is something that's on my wish list, tool list. I feel more comfortable now I've got these on. Adopt the
feel like you're in the real world.
Walk around, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
YouTube mode. It's about placing it over the hole, isn't it?
Yeah.
How easy is that on this
The
one?
thing is,
Got a nipple on
you
it.
see this nug here?
Yeah.
That's the only thing for me, that there.
But is that what locates it like that?
That
You
hole.
put that in there.
Yeah.
Paslow pin here is a lot more defined. So in other words, that it's actually easier, I think, on the Paslow, personally, that this here, I think I'd like to see this nib bigger.
Yeah.
Because
so
then
a couple
that
of
way,
my guys, what they've done is they've actually filed it down to make it more positive.
Yeah, I think it's good, but it's, you know what it's like when you're on a step or you're on a bench or whatever and you're working away.
All the help you can get.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
I'm not going to fire it, but you know, you can get it. I suppose you've got used to the tool.
Yeah, it does locate, all right, yeah. It's just I was a little bit...
It's either that, Tony, or a pouch full of twist nails smashing your fingers. So I'll take it. Superb. Imagine, you know, sending John or Pete down and getting, you know, half a pallet of bricks or something in here. Perhaps it's 300 range is going to go to 100 mile range.
For me, our racking inside is pretty much half the weight you're allowed to load into straight away. Right. So by the time you've got the racking and all your tools in, you're at the half capacity of the load that you can take.
Yeah.
These are great vans. The only thing I don't like about them is, for me, I'd always want to be able to get into a van and stand in it.
Yeah.
And that's why we go for the higher roofs, higher tops, for the bricklayer or whatever he wants to get his mixes in and other stuff. They're absolutely brilliant for that, aren't they?
Some quality ply line in there, Tony.
Oh, what can I say? I'm not going to say anything about that. Look, we picked up on that already. I'm not going to say anything about
Come on, guys, what are you doing?
I mean, haven't trucks massively changed?
They have.
They're like cars.
Yeah, of course they are, yeah. I mean, look at that in there. Look.
Do you know what? And there's loads of leg room around there, Dal, isn't
Let's go
there?
on the other side.
This is like a car inside, Dal, isn't it? Nice, isn't it?
Too good for work, isn't it?
It is, you know, it is. It is a bit too good for work.
Yeah.
In fact, no, it's not actually. Cut that out.
It's perfect for work.
It's perfect for work. I mean, it's just absolutely. Look at this. It's just like the trims.
Yeah.
Just like automatic. I like automatic. Do you know what? My next van is definitely going to be an automatic, and it's going to be an electric van. There you go.
Mate, said it here. You've heard it first.
I've said it. Yeah. I'm definitely my next van.
Back in the day, my old dad had a Granada 2.8 automatic, only had 3 gears. It was awful to drive, and the fuel economy was terrible. But obviously, the way things are coming forward now, it's not the case, is it?
My first ever truck was a Ford.
Was it?
Yeah, I bought a long wheelbase, medium high roof, and I absolutely loved it.
Really?
Oh yeah, I was in the element.
Yeah, lovely.
I was. It was just like from a clapped out red van to my Ford. That was it. Boom. I could fit in this one, Dal.
honestly, Tone, you know, I've got like a small sub 3-ton van, and it suits me really well, and you know, it gets me where I need to go. But when I get in a big van like this, I think, yeah, I can have my tools down there, and you know, we can put materials in here, and if it's raining, you can get inside it, can't you?
Our mechanism's nice as well.
Yeah.
I feel so much smoother than the Merc I drive. I like that.
But it soon changes when you feel when you spill loads of concrete and screws and stuff in the runner, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it does.
So I like trucks. I used to have one. I used to have a Mitsubishi L200. It's very nice. It's literally like driving a car, but I do like ISUZUs. But I don't really think you can get many materials in the back, or all of our tools. They are nice though, aren't they? You like them too, yeah. I don't really know how to say. They look nice, they drive nice, but not very practical for what we use them for. I can't really imagine getting 8x4 sheets in the back of that, can you, Pete?
No, definitely not more, mate.
Maybe on the roof. Oh, there we go.
There you go, that's your thing.
Yeah, the tipper.
It's quite cool though. It's really, it's got a lot more room inside than I thought.
I have no use for it, but why do I want it so bad?
But why? It's
got man written all that.
It's the fun factor, the man thing, isn't it?
Can you say man though? It's
that's
the person factor.
The person. I think it's really cool. I can see Pete one of these.
Yeah, too, Rob. For your first car. I'm starving, mate, and there's a food court over there, so I reckon we should Tony put his hand in his pocket, yeah.
What are we going to have though? Hitting our faces.
Yes.
Look at this. This is the fix of the world.
I don't know if he's going to wear. It's going to be a bit too wide.
I can't even hold this where it needs to be held. Yes, I've got a spare set, but you know what I've done? Left him in the car. Alright, that's going to work, mate. That's going to work. Look, I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream. So, like, environmentally, I think these are a great idea, and I do think that a lot of the time what's going to be happening is a lot of the stuff is going to go down this route. We're using this system for the TPO tree that we're having to get over, because obviously with the digger digging down, putting the footings in, it's going to have this massive issue where we're destroying roots for this TPO tree. So we could come up with a solution, and I thought, you know, this is definitely a game changer. So I proposed it to the architect. He spoke to the engineer. Literally, they've agreed. Said, no, let's have a chat with these guys, and we're now working out between ourselves to create a footing that's going to now hold back the ground so that not damaging the tree root system. So
I've actually used your first-based home installation ground screws. Absolutely fantastic. I just had a little deck, a couple of oak posts with a little roof on. The customer spoke to you guys. He told you what he was after, and you recommended some screws. Sent them out with like a home installation bar. And
this is similar like a pint of beer.
yeah, that's it. So in the right ground, I mean, what sort of force would this be able to hold up if it was in the right ground? I know that's a long.
I think if you normally 1 meter, for example, is 1.4, 1.5 tons.
Wow. Okay. And that's ground dependent, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, sand or clay.
So I mean, that's significant load, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing. And the fact that we had it, you sent these out on a little pallet, and we literally drilled a 25mm pilot hole. In we went with a bar and a scaffold pole, and down it went.
It's okay, but if you do 100,
you want to have
you want to hire the machine.
We just did 2. That was enough. Yeah.
What's the biggest building that you can put up on this? A 2-story SIPS house, like a timber house, can you? Here we go. He's going to get a photograph. Here we go, guys. I'm glad I'm not the only one that does this with these pictures. I don't know if everybody out there, but that's what I do. I flick loads of pictures.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, look at that. Look, you've got to see this, guys. Look, come and have a look at this.
On ground screws.
Look at that on ground screws. Is that a timber frame?
yeah,
That's timber frame.
completely.
It's
It's a steel frame.
steel frame.
A little concrete below,
Yeah.
and the rest is all steel.
Look at that one. Look at this, guys. This is absolutely awesome, isn't it? All of these screws here, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. This is beautiful, isn't it? Where is this?
In the south of Holland.
South Holland. There you go, guys. The cost difference between concrete putting, strip putting, and the screw.
For example, if we put out this, it would be around 30 quid. 1 metre ground square.
£30.
Yeah, fixed
Wow.
things.
A cubic metre of concrete is going to cost you 110 quid now. The spanning difference on a house like that, how many would you have to put every metre?
Depends on the weight.
Yeah.
No, we got an engineer in the house.
Yeah.
So he's calculated. If it's, for example, this one.
Yeah, this building here.
4 or 6 vessels. Because it doesn't the weight.
So straight away, how much money are you saving? Be more eco-friendly?
Yeah.
That's just like...
And ultimately, if, say for garden structure particularly, say you have it 10, 15 years and someone else comes in and doesn't like it, take the garden structure down, unscrew the screws.
Nice, so cool, yeah.
Super. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Take care, mate.
Pete's got through a few sheds that seem to catch fire. A bit of a joke is that Pete's a bit of a pyromaniac, and now Pete's spotted a lovely shed that won't burn.
I like the look of this because look, it's all just bolted together, so you can actually flat
Literally like
pack
4
it.
panels.
The thing is, though, you think if we had something, we're always sort of like chopping and changing, moving tools around. So I mean, if you get something like this, you could fit on the back of a flatbed, get it knocked up in the compound. You've got safe storage for your tools.
Storage, yeah.
That's it.
That is not a bad shout, mate, to be fair. Everything's waterproof. You could spray foam insulate it. It's wow light.
Yeah?
Do you do a lot of different sizes?
We do. 4x2, 3x2, 2x2, and the beauty of it is you can connect them either at the gable end or at the long end.
Oh, right, okay.
Lovely stuff.
So they're all expandable. It's just like a
Exactly.
big Lego set.
Exactly.
So say if we bought like the smallest one but bought them in multiples, we could actually join them all together and they could, and then what are they like joining the roof together? I mean, is it all waterproof
It's a
and
proper
that?
connecting kit.
Oh, lovely
So
stuff.
The roofs integrate.
Obviously, like in the winter time, you're going to get condensation and that. Are there any panels you can do, or is there something you can retrofit to solve the problem?
We've got insulated, fully insulated.
All right.
Just over there.
Lovely stuff.
This is a different beast altogether, but it still comes flat packed.
And also, do you have ones with maybe a window in them if you wanted to like double them up as like a site office or canteen?
We do modular offices.
Lovely
They
stuff.
come flat packed.
Yeah. I mean, what are these like for security? Because obviously the windows are a weak point. You do with like the shutters on the external.
Yeah, we can do external roller shutters.
So I mean, if we've got one sort of like big enough, we could have one half cabin, half storage if we wanted to.
Yeah.
And if you fall out with the missus, you'll probably end up living there, won't you? Nice,
Nice to meet you both.
Nice one, mate. Thank you very much.
All the very best. Bye-bye.
All the best. No, I really like this.
What you get with this product is you get a continuity of supply. It's all coming from one particular mill. We regulate the production of it and it's made to our specification. You've just got that a higher degree of control over
Yeah, that's really good though, this.
consistent performance.
Yeah, because it's really funny when you go onto a lot of the internet, there's so many different people selling ply where you can import it. Fast ones if you don't know the quality, the grade of it, how good it is, and sort of whereas you guys, you're in direct contact with the mills and everything else like that, which is really key, isn't it?
You've seen a decrease in sort of quality of imported plywood.
Yeah.
So you've got a high quality engineered flooring
on top,
going onto a cheap, low quality plywood that were having failures in that industry. So we developed SP101 plywood to meet the specific demands of that flooring industry. So the square metre might cost a few pounds more than say a Chinese. But when you're looking at a fitted floor of a
But the product's not comparable, is it? They're not comparable, and I've noticed this, Tony. Sort of your typical builders merchants ply. Your Far East and what we used to call the WBP. And you probably know this, and I know you know this. The quality of it is significantly lower than it's been historically, isn't it? And
massively different.
And never mind if you get a bit of moisture into it, and all of a sudden, boff, it's just delaminated all over the place, doesn't it? So
we're doing a lot of CPDs to architects now, and one thing that we focus on is this common specification of just marine grade plywood.
Instead of like in the olden days when I was being taught, you said marine ply, you knew it was a really high quality grade. You go into the builder's merchant, they say it's marine ply, but really what conformities, have they done all the relevant checks where, your HANSON, they've done all their relevant credentials, you know what you're buying. Because I could probably go into certain merchants and say, right, okay, what ply, what marine ply is it, what grade is it, Because you know, it's like with OSBs, you can do a whole massive long list, can't you? And then the next thing is what grading is it? Where it's come from. Instantly, as soon as you look at some of the ply, which is over here, look at the quality of that ply straight away. So I know for a fact, I mean, all the merchants I go in, I couldn't get that ply.
No, the face of the ply can affect its cost significantly.
Yeah, the most expensive part of any plywood is the face.
Okay.
If you're going to be covering that, upholstering that, and you just want the strength of the product, face is irrelevant, so why pay?
How many plies are in that?
Oh, that'd be probably 13 ply.
13 ply, and it's really interesting that the thing that affects its value the most is the one on the outside, isn't it? So,
yeah, it's crazy.
But it kind of makes perfect sense, doesn't it? You don't get these gaping gaps. You know, some plies, it's something there's voids all over the show. So even though it's not the premium grade, all of these plies, look, you can see. Look, am I right in saying it's always an odd number of plies?
Yes.
Yes.
Not always. There are some softwood plywood manufacturers do an even number of plies. But why? I don't know.
And am I right in saying that the reason you have an odd number of plies is because the plies are laid at 90 degrees to each other? So if you had a ply that had an even number, one side the grain would be going that way, and the other side the grain would be going at 90 degrees to it.
So it's like balancing boards, you know, like when you formica one board on one side, you have to put a balancing board on the back. And it's the same sort of principle. It's just sort of making sure that if you put a formica on one board, don't put a balancing back on it, it will suddenly start twisting and buckling. We used to use HANSON when I was in the younger days. It was always HANSON ply. There's not many merchants now carry such really high quality plywood. Go to your standard merchants now, it's completely changed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
This has been a great show. You know, loads of stalls and you know, sort of like new technologies, but above all else, free pens, which is the main reason why, I'm not going to lie, it's the main reason why I've come here. So look at that, lovely collection. You know,
plywood made out of cardboard.
Plywood made out of cardboard. Bit of a contradiction.
I thought you were going to try and get all them behind your ears.
Yeah. Cleveland containers, happy with that. And the maxeurope.com. We've got the pipe snug. I don't know what that is. That's for Skills Centre. So yeah.
You need serious skills to read this up.
Yeah, that's it. And this is the CNA in Birmingham. Lovely stuff. So I'm okay for pens until next year. So that's all good.
Until the next year.
That's it. Well, show's not over. Plenty more time to get more pens.
Well, like this, Dale.
Do you know what, Tony? This is the ultimate magic for us because it's a brick that's made out of wood.
It is. It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
So what we could potentially do here is we could take bricklayers completely out of the equation, couldn't we?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I'll tell you what.
No, we love our bricklaying brothers. We love you.
yeah. Steve Lansby go turning to the ground now. The only thing I think straight away is that why can't we put more insulation into our house?
Well, I mean, again, in the Scandinavian countries,
like double
insulation, ventilation, and they're almost passively heated, aren't they? There's next to nothing, little wood burner, and that's it.
You see the depth here?
Yeah.
Do a block's got more insulation in?
Yes.
Hey, what? It's not heavy at all. Oh my God, that's so light.
We don't go through.
You could build quite quickly with that, Dal.
Yeah. So these are mortarless, are they?
Yes, they're filled with concrete.
Oh, okay, right. So that's all. Is there steel work that goes in there as well to bind them up, or?
For a standard house.
Yeah.
But if you're doing flats or something, yes, sometimes there would be.
Okay. So you'd build to sort of out not the foundation with these, with the foundation.
Yeah, you can. You can use these below DPC as well.
Really?
So these are fully waterproof as well?
Yes, yeah, they're treated, so although they're made out of wood chip.
So what they're made out of, to be exact?
Wood chip.
Okay, and where's the wood chip from?
From pallets, so it's recycled.
So it's recycled, 100% recycled?
Yeah, sometimes barrels, but it has to be softwood. Cement dust and water.
Wow, and that's it?
Fantastic. So these don't absorb water at all. They're self-draining until they're sealed.
So basically, the water doesn't affect them, but the water can penetrate through?
Only into here, the first couple of millimetres, and then drains out.
That's it. Oh wow. And so that's the same all the way through?
Yeah, and then once they're sealed, they're obviously fully waterproof.
Easy to install, easy to insulate. I just like stuff like that because it's renewable. It's a lot more thermally insulated standard as it is, as a block, and it's just a quick way of building. It's like what, 6 bricks there, just boom, done. That's it, easy. I would like to move in that direction. See? It's almost like I read it off there, isn't it? I didn't. Our conclusion is we need to do our next build out of that.
That's it.
Watch this space. We're going to persuade Tony and the client, obviously. It's probably down to the client a bit more to use that.
I would say just on the time you'd save. Imagine what the turnaround time would be on something like that.
Exactly.
This is some sort of cane, isn't it?
It's the itch factor, isn't it? You know, as soon as you do this, you think, right, it's itchy, but it's nice. It's nice, yeah.
I remember the closest I came to stopping my apprenticeship in its tracks is when I got told to go and insulate a 40-bedroom hotel we were building in an old roll insulation. I said to my boss, I'm not doing it.
But just like, I like that. I wonder how that fares to Rockwool, the soundproofing of it, the cost of it, how much it is, what packs it comes in. The other thing is the availability. No, I haven't seen anything I've ever used it in one house many moons ago. They were very environmentally friendly people, and we used wool insulation, which is a great product to use, just a natural product. It wasn't like kind of itchy on you. We do loads of block and beam. And the one thing I've got to say, I like the idea of this. Basically, what would normally happen is when you put a beam in like that,
of course, it's
and what would happen,
it's damp, isn't it?
But you've always got potential issues coming through.
Yeah.
Whereas these sleeves like this, that's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Love that. Because you know, whatever you're doing, when it goes onto the inner block work, there's no area where damp can get through here.
Whereas if you don't put that on, it's easy to bridge it, isn't it?
Exactly.
When you're
that, mate.
slurrying them up.
Yes, for me, this is a great idea. This is what you see a lot of people do.
Or paint them in bitumen.
Yeah, that's it, On our next build that you're going to see, we're building any, I'm going to buy a load of these off this guy, Kevin, because this is a super cool idea. And this is for a 155 block beam?
That's a 155.
Do you do the 9-inch as well, do you?
We're going to do the 9-inch. You know, I'm self-funded, so it's like work. Bring out a new model. We've just launched this month. We've got the dimples on the end now, so you can see when you don't push it up tight to the end of the beam, it still keeps the air raised.
Yeah, that's a really good shot. I like that. That's a really good shot.
We're putting all of them now. These are this is the same model, but new models will have the dimples in it. Yes.
And I've noticed they're registered with the LABC as well, and then so that's brilliant.
2 for fibre.
Yeah, that's really good. Really good.
They're totally recyclable. To me, getting this plastic off the earth is my passion.
Yeah.
Passion.
So they're all fully recyclable material.
100% recycled plastic.
That is brilliant. That's I like. Go there, I like that. Boom.
I'm a carpenter.
Oh, are you?
My trade.
Carpentry, mate. Hey, put it there.
5 years apprenticeship, when you have to go in. After a class, so there for another 5 years. That was me.
Right.
But it was a bit funny because you used to do what you
We're all carpenters then.
So what made you sort of look at this issue particularly?
I've always been always outside the box, thinking outside the box. I had a business up to about 2008. We lost it because of recession in 2008. So we went our separate ways, but we're good mates still. But I carried on building. And he was a bricklayer, so he taught me a bit of bricklaying. So I started doing extensions on my own. And I was sort of like the old school, bring it up to damp proof, pour a load of cement on it, go to the pub, few it's dry, you can start building again. So when a guy down the pub said, have you tried block and beam? And I was like, no. If you hadn't, anything you haven't tried, it was like, so I went home and researched it, tried the block and beam in 2016, and the council guy said, can you protect the ends of the beams? I was like, well, how do you want me to do it? And he didn't know, to be honest. He said, either bitumen.
Just wrap it in this double bitumen.
That's it. So that's how it came.
That's brilliant.
As soon as he said wrapping, I thought. So I sat on it for about 4 or 5 years. Done my Intel, registered it in registered all the patents in 2018, 2019 launch, great year. 2020 was a great year. 2021 has been a great year. So, but we're still here.
Kevin, I love it. This is brilliant, man. This is so cool. So cool.
Top thing that I liked was the collapsible metal container.
That was very good.
Yeah, I like that. As you could see, that's saving no end of time and sorting out no end of problems for us. Obviously, storage solutions, having to chop and change, moving the tool rooms around as we demolish the house and progress through, you know what I mean?
Number one for me was definitely them blocks. The ones made out of pallets and a bit of cement. They're perfect. you know, like the amount of time it will save doing that. The job that we're on the single story we're doing at the minute, we could have built that in like a day.
That's it.
Instead of the weeks it took us to do it.
That's it. But the thing is, I am curious to sort of see if that's something you could put on extension, use as an extension, or whether that would have to be like its own standalone structure.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see why you wouldn't be able to tie it into existing walls. You know, you can surely, providing you go in between each row of blocks, each course, it'd be fine. But obviously, it's something we can look into. But definitely, I think that is the future. You know, it's sustainable. It's got high U values. It's quick. You can fix straight into it as well. You can render it. You can put multiple finishes on the outside. That screw gun was good as well. The air compressed screw gun and the nail guns that they did. They were all pretty good.
Would like to ring them up and just see if they could drop a couple of toys off to us, just so we could maybe just sort of like get them on loan for a week. Maybe when we're doing a roofing job.
The only downside, like you mentioned, was the pipe. That's a bit of it's like going back to corded tools, isn't it? I know obviously you've got the speed and you've got the power, which is obviously the advantage, but then you've got that you've got to try and drag around, then you've got a noisy air compressor sat there.
But the thing is though, the air compressor would only be on sporadically. As soon as it fills up the
tanks are full, then it just cuts out.
That's it. So
there's pros and cons, isn't there? We have noticed there's a little beer festival thing going on, but we're obviously not going to go to that after we've done this. Also, shout out to Mohammed, you had a photo with us earlier. Yes, mate. Nice to see you. It's always good to see somebody that watches the videos, get a bit of feedback.
What was the best thing for you?
I mean, it's really great to come to these kind of things because there's so much stuff. We kind of, I mean, you perhaps a little bit further forward than me in terms of the range of things that you do in your construction. But as a carpenter, I tend to be focused a little bit more on just the carpentry side of it. But coming to these kind of places, it really kind of opens your eyes back up to, you know, certainly a lot of the new technologies. There's things that we've seen, obviously, like the tints and metal that we come across all the time. But in terms of the kind of new stuff, it's hard not to be impressed with those sort of wooden, concrete coated blocks.
Well, there's two things that are really kind of hit home for me this time. Is the wooden concrete blocks. I think that was probably the first, or in fact there's two joint first. The other one was the block and beams that Kevin, the ends of the block and beams.
Damp-proof cap.
I just thought that's a great, just like somebody who's been on the tools, is thinking out the box. He's then thought, right, how can I solve this solution? He's come up with a great idea. The other thing is British made as well, which is absolutely awesome. And it's all 100% recyclable as well. So I'm just like, for me, it's probably Kevin's end caps and then probably the blocks. But they're both, I think, absolutely awesome ideas. I love seeing the Hanson plywood. I think some of the stuff there was absolutely brilliant. I'm actually quite impressed how many people have actually turned out. It's been a great show. It's been awesome having you here, mate.
Well, I mean, I very much appreciate you asking me along, Tony. It's been great to sort of meet you guys, have a wander around with you, see how it's done A&E style, and obviously be part of the A&E army back out there in YouTube world.
So I'm going to say a massive thank you for Dal for joining us today, because it's absolutely been awesome with him going around on this journey. If you haven't seen his channel, make sure you check out his channel. It's Tall Carpenter Dal. Just the link's all down below. Just go and check him out because he's an absolutely awesome carpenter. Have a great day, guys. Take care. See you soon.